Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Man, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers, and getting listeners back again with another episode talking Brewers like we like to do. We are taking another series. It's a huge thing. Let's get into the episode. Let's talk about it. First, we are on Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Google, YouTube, just to name a few. You name it, we are there, guys. We are all over the podcast platform. Rumble, don't forget Rumble. If you want to use the code SeatGeek, code for SeatGeek, it's Miller Park Minute. Get your $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. You can also support us down below. Click that join button on YouTube, or you can also go over to patreon.com/Miller Park Minute. Basically, it's a way to tip me for the show, show a little love and support for the Miller Park Minute podcast. So, guys, that being said, let's get it right into it. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly of today's Milwaukee Brewer game. Our first place Milwaukee Brewers at 62-54 completed a series victory over the Colorado Rockies today. It's been a little while since we've been able to successfully say we've had a series victory. Now split a victory, leaving us with a winning homestand. So props to that. All those haters out on X that say we suck. Today's game was a fight. Was proof that we have the fight. So we're the good, obviously here. We fought back from a 4-0 deficit with 3 runs in the fourth, 2 runs in the fifth. Then got tied up by the Rockies in the seventh, and we fought. We battled. They put 1 on in the 10th, and we put 2 on. So victory. Nice little Andrew Monasterio day. Andrew Monasterio is he's an unsung hero of this squad, and I think it goes without saying. He had a 2-for-5 day. He had a home run. Went back to back after Willie, who another good of the day. Willie came back and smacked a dinger. So that was really nice to see. He only went 1-for-4, but he did have a walk as well. Couldn't quite get the depth on the ball late in the game to drive in the runs, but that's okay. That's all right. I'm gonna say this before I move on to the bad. I feel very much that once a game is won, the transgressions of the game can be overlooked in my eyes. So if something bad happens in, say, today's game, Adrian Hauser gave up 4 runs. Those things can be overlooked if the game is a W in the end. So that's my theory on it. We had today 7 runs on 10 hits. Still too wide of a gap. I know that's only 3 runs to 3 hits, but that's still too wide of a gap, hits to runs. We left a lot of runners on today. So this is all bad, obviously. Hauser did not have the best of outing, got roughed up a little bit, only went 5. But we talk about that bullpen. And I talk about the bullpen every day, but the bullpen really, really came through today. Hobie Milner going an inning in the third. He did give up a run. However, struck out 2. Piamps, no runs, 2 strikeouts. Devin Williams came in, 1 strikeout, clean inning. Bryce Wilson did give up a run. Wasn't an earned run. We hung the loss on Lawrence. The downright ugly today, unfortunately, was it took too long to win this game. We couldn't. I guess it would be the late run given up in the 7th. Our bullpen is more locked down than that normally, and that just that is what it is. So that's the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. A victory is a victory. I know this. I always tell you guys, there's no downright ugly in excuse me, in a win. So a win's a win's a win. And as I said, your first place Milwaukee Brewers. So the Reds got beat by the Marlins today. So that put them back. They are 2.5. And the Cubs did win, so they are 2.5. So still got a 2.5 game lead over the NL Central. Pretty solid. One other interesting side note that I did not add to the game notes today is Adrian Hauser went 9 up, 9 down to start this game, and Adrian Hauser's pitching on a different level lately, so good to see. So there is some news as far as the injuries go. Joey Weimer was sidelined with an illness. Stomach virus sidelined Joey Weimer, so he had the boops. And Carlos Santana also was sidelined due to illness. It's bad food. They sent Santana home to avoid the illness from spreading, too. Interesting stuff. So it was a walk-off error, which is to me it's like, should that just be counted as a hit? Like, that just sounds dumb. Walk-off error. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like, is that, is this just dumb? Like, walk-off error? Come on, just give him a hit. Call it a hit. I don't know. Let's talk about the scores around the league, though. We already kind of covered it a little bit, but let's just hit that scoreboard real quick. We had a no-hitter by former Cincinnati Red Michael Lorenzen. He was a reliever. He played some outfield. He did that two-way player thing. He went no hit tonight with 125 pitches. Phillies had a strong lead, 7-0. No hit game for Michael Lorenzen. And then we go across the board. So right now, top of the ninth, the Angels are beating the Giants 4-1. The Dodgers top 9 beating the D-backs. Bottom 8, Padres Mariners. The Mariners are up 3-1. Final, Marlins 5-4, like I said, over the Reds. Of course, we won 6-7. The Athletics beat the Rangers, so the Rangers are beatable. Just so you know, even the Athletics can beat them. St. Louis beat Tampa Bay today. Are they out? Are they out? I don't know. I can't say that. I mean, they could get real hot. Twins lost to the Tigers 9-5. Covered the Nats. Astros beat the Orioles 8-2. The Braves beat the Pirates 6-5. The Kansas City Royals lost to the Boston Red Sox 4-3. The Mets. The Mets did beat the Cubs. I thought the Cubs beat the Mets. So I misspoke. Correction. Live corrections right on the podcast. Blue Jays beat the Guardians, and the Yankees lost to the White Sox. Any given day. So this is proof in the pudding, because I just mentioned 3 games here where they were very, like, the Tigers beating the Twins shouldn't happen. The Yankees against White Sox. White Sox are terrible. That shouldn't happen. The Rangers are one of the best teams in baseball right now. They should lose to the Athletics. Good teams do lose to bad teams. Just for those of you, I wish I could put that on Twitter or X. I wish I could put that on X. Yeah, good teams do lose to bad teams. It happens. Let's not rule it out yet. So being that there's another no hitter, this brings me to another question. Do you value Corbin Burns? And we've seen a lot close to no hit and one hitter from Freddie the other day. Do you value Corbin Burns / Josh Hader's no hitter as much as you would if, say, Corbin Burns was to throw it without Josh Hader? I say no. Yes, we do have a no hitter, but it's not the same as like a complete game no hitter. Um, that's just my thoughts on it, guys. I don't know. I just if five guys the only time I've ever thought a multiple pitcher no hitter was cool was when they did it for Fernandez. I think there was one where it was like the whole team after Jose Fernandez died and they all completed a no hitter together. I thought that was cool. But that's the only time I've ever thought a no hit bid for the like with everybody or multiple bullpen guys was cool. Cool news and notes. Dusty Baker moves into 7th all time with managerial wins. So let's see if it gives us the list in front of him. I don't think it does, which of course doesn't. No, it doesn't. All-time no-hitters in AL and NL history. Oh, so they give us a complete list of that. There's been one too many no-hitters thrown against the Brewers in recent memory, so we're going to talk about it. Scherzer, Vince Scully, Homer Bailey, Corbin Burns, Cole Hamels, Jake. Trivia of the day: do you know who was in the no-hitter? Without Googling, do you know who was in the no-hitter thrown for Jose Fernandez? You don't have to Google. You can look on MLB.com. But anyways, yeah. So we've already had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 this year. Holy crap. That's awesome. Just over halfway through and we got 4. So I don't know. Those are things I like and stats I look at is no hitters, complete games, those kind of things I care about. Next up on the list, let's talk about brewfanatics.com. I got a video that I'm recording probably tomorrow, talking about the anemic offense can only get better, right? So there's an article on that. To look at in-house options to upgrade the 2024 lineup. Is Bryce Turing's breakout for real? There was actually, so I had a funny conversation earlier today on Twitter. There was Barrel, David Go, and he put out Bryce Turing's numbers since the call up. And I'm gonna reference it here. Since his recall, Barrel MKE. He puts a lot of good stuff up on Twitter. I just don't have the time to research. And apparently they're the number 2 podcast on Apple Podcasts via Chartable. Number 2 Brewers podcast. I don't do enough of that. He's got a lot of time on his hands. But he put out stats, so I'm going to read you the stats here real quick. Another off the shot stat. that Sal Frelick is the fastest Brewer in history to 15 RBIs. Preceding that was Molitor, of course. 16 games versus Molitor's 19 games. Okay, so Bryce Truing, before being sent down, was 205, 254, 307, 11 walks, 48 strikeouts. Since being recalled, he's 257, 361, 407, 17 walks, and 17 strikeouts. And I said they should update this. You should update this based off of since he switched to the number 2. So, of course, my good friend David replied to that and said, where is it? Mentions. Notifications. Okay, so in number 0, he was 213, 283, 316 with 4 homers. So far, as number 2, he's 333, 429, 667, and 2 home runs. And that's about a week of play wearing the number 2 on his back. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So that was I thought that was kind of funny. Good stats. There's a lot of good stats out there. There's some people that actually put positive content on the internet, believe it or not. Unlike these people on X right now that are just railing some of these other podcasters that, albeit give some positive, also give every piece of negative in the world. It's ugly. It's downright ugly. And that's a shame, people. That's a shame. I think one of the biggest pieces for me right now in this season is you can live and die by every day. I mean, every day is a different story, a different scenario, and we just got to play it out through and through. This team right now is in first place. Let's enjoy that until they fall out of first place. Let's not get too down. I mean, you take the good games with the bad games, the wins with the losses. These guys are out there fighting. They're putting up a fight each and every day. Monasterio wasn't even supposed to be here. It was supposed to be Luis Urias and Brian Anderson. He's forced his way onto this team. Brian Anderson's taken a back burner because he hasn't been hitting, or Monasterio, who's totally unknown. I mean, there was no discussion of Monasterio even before the season. I never heard his name before he even got called up. I was like, who's this guy when he got called up? And I think if we go back on the podcast, you can actually see where I was like, Monasterio, I don't really know who in the heck that guy is. And he's been doing it since he came up, and Craig Counsell's playing the hot hand, which he should do. So that brings me to a second point. And I'm going to get on my soapbox again. I like to do this, you know this, guys. But I don't make the calls. I'm not the manager. I'm not here to second guess the manager. There was another podcaster yesterday who just trashed the lineup. And it's like, you don't know. You don't know who's going to hit and what situations are going to happen, what's going to unfold. It goes to the same thing as I said last night as to using Devin Williams. You don't know that Chafin's going to have that blow-up inning. You don't know that. You don't know what inning is going to be tougher. And they did it again today, and look what the result was. They used Devin Williams in the 9th to get to the 10th, and they won. So it's a coin flip at that point. This was the example game to prove what they did last night was not a bad idea. And I think everybody likes to second guess. Everybody's an armchair GM, especially other podcasters. And I think that's enough. I think we enjoy the game. We let Craig Counsell do his job. He's been doing a damn good job of it. Yeah, we don't have a World Series ring yet, but he's been doing a damn good job in his time here. And I ain't gonna fault him for making moves, making calls. He likes to mix it up. He's done a different lineup just about every day that he's been the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. So let's let it roll. Guys, a win's a win. We won. Stop complaining. Hold your comments. You know why I'm not so active on Twitter during a game, besides talking trash on people who are just so negative, is because I hold my judgments and I don't jump down the throats of the good and the bad in the middle of the game. You got to let it play out. There's 9 innings to every ball game. And, well, 9 1/3 or 9.5, what, 8.5, whatever. But you know what I'm saying. There's 9 innings every day. Not every inning is going to be perfect. Not every game is going to be perfect. But what matters is the wins. And when we stack them up and winning series like we did today, we had a winning homestand due to the win today. So that's what I got for you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, share this video. Please rate and review on Apple Podcasts. I'm going to have to go deep dive on where we actually rank because I don't even know. But we're here every day putting out content for you guys, talking Brew Crew baseball, and we love it. So thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode. Tomorrow we will have an off day special of some sort. Just got to finish the script. So you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, whenever you happen to listen to this. Remember to like, share, and let's go get them. Brewers, let's go take the White Sox. We'll talk about that series tomorrow too. You guys have a great rest of your night. Go Brew Crew.